Hello everybody, welcome to the Abbots Address. Today is Thursday, March 2nd, 2017. So, how can I trust myself if I've done a bunch of really stupid shit in the past? How can I trust myself if I've messed things up horribly? Okay, now this is an important point because a lot of the main teaching of the Dharma really comes down to really appreciating one's life and trusting oneself and taking refuge and all this stuff. So how can I really trust myself if I've made a wreck of things? Well, it can be a very difficult process. It really can be. And the first step is to honor the fact that, you know what, I've messed things up majorly. That's why we begin every Sunday service with the Gatha of Atonement. Being one with the mistakes that we've made, being one with the twisted karma we've created, however slight, however massive, this is absolutely the first step, see? So we don't put blinders on and pretend that we're not seeing or hearing or feeling any of this stuff. And so honestly, when people come into sitting for the first time, there can be some time, even it can show up later on in someone's practice actually, where suddenly there's an encounter with the twisted karma from a past time in our life, right? So here's the thing, just really rely on the practice itself and trust the process of the practice, right? And what do I mean? I mean very specifically, an honest looking at what we've done, an honest atonement of what we've done through body, speech, and mind, taking an assessment of and evaluating it. You might get to the point where you even off the cushion grab a journal and actually write the stuff down and get very clear with yourself. This is the stupid stuff I've done and this is what it's caused, and really let yourself feel that and be clear about it. Let's get the mystery gone, right? Get it as clear as you can. This is what's happened. And then from there, take refuge in Buddha, refuge in Dharma, and refuge in Sangha. Once I've made atonement, then I take refuge and I make the intention as best as I can to practice good, to not cause any harm, to make good happen for others. And we set the correct motivation and intention for that. See? So we acknowledge what's happened, we take refuge, and then we start to set our intentions going forward. Now, all of that stuff doesn't mean that everything is wonderful and you don't kind of sit in the smell of all the bad stuff you've created. Maybe that's still there and still needs to be looked at. But our orientation is different. Rather than the orientation simply being karmic forces pushing back and forth, and we're just kind of reactive to that. Now we've actually set a vow in place and an intention in place, and we're more conscious of what's going on. Now from there, it actually gets very simple. Okay, when you're sitting in zazen, every single breath, let us say that your practice is counting your breaths. Fine. So every single breath, you're actually practicing and refining and developing that trust. Developing that trust. Trust in what? Trust in this moment. Trust in this breath. So it can be excruciating to sit there in the midst of everything, but believe me, that's exactly what we need to do. Sit there, be with everything, be one with everything, and breathe. Breathing in, breathing out, putting the mind in the center and holding to this in the midst of everything that's going on. And in this way, breath by breath, moment by moment, we begin to develop more of an intimacy with ourselves, more of an intimacy with this moment, more of a trust and a faith in the practice, and more capacity, really, to tolerate ourselves and to tolerate everything around us, tolerate everything we've created, and then that can move into actually acceptance and loving ourselves and so on. And it's that ability to be present with things, to really trust ourselves in this very simple practice of counting the breaths, if that's what you're doing, that gives us the power to actually get up off the cushion, not having escaped from anything, not having copped out or backed away or disassociated or checked out. No, but instead of practicing being one with, then we can get off the cushion and go ahead and make that phone call, have that conversation if it's possible, or to simply resolve again to move forward in a positive direction in a way that really bespeaks our true self, our deeper self, our higher aspirations. And I don't care how many times we fail. We may fail. In fact, you're guaranteed to fail. Failure is definitely one of the factors, right? Regardless, still, this ability to snap back to north and continue to practice, even in the midst of the failure, even in the midst of amazing success. So the process of trusting oneself, the process of taking refuge, and the process of atonement is actually all happening and expressed fully in the Zazen. So sit, trust, practice, and then get up off that cushion and do what needs doing, because no one else can do that. I can't do that for you. No one else can do that for you. That's your job. That's my job. That's what we do. Okay, so please take it up and don't be scared. And then I guess a little final note, there might be some times where it's actually really good to go and get a Western psychological connection, someone that you can talk things through. I mean, there's pastoral counseling, which is an option. There's spiritual friendship within the Sangha and community, but there's also a whole bunch of really awesome stuff in Western psychotherapeutic techniques that can handle things that, frankly, just sitting there might not resolve in the same way. In fact, can't resolve in the same way. So use all of these tools, right? Let's live our lives fully. Now, so announcements. We're coming upon Ango. So session is starting this evening at the farm. This Sunday, we shall have the Ango opening ceremony, which is critical and important. This is an important moment in the life of the community for us to gather together and resolve to take our practice up a notch as we move into the spring practice. And then significantly, this Sunday, we will have the first ever postulancy acknowledgement. There are 5 members of the Sangha who have been accepted into the seminary program, which is a track that will lead to ordination for those folks if they prevail and persist and decide to continue. And the first period of that is called the postulancy, and then the second period of that is called the novitiate. And I'll explain more about what that is maybe on the talk on Sunday, so come in here. And then also there's a lot of awesome things happening in the Ango to take advantage of. Significantly, the next Monday we're going to start off with our teachings retreat, which starts Monday night. We shall have an opening ceremony that begins and gets everything going, gets the space ready and sets the intention. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 9 to 5, with a little break there and for lunch and some social hang time, there'll be teachings that are happening. Fantastic stuff. You're going to love it. It's really great. Please come and participate in it. It's going to focus on the compassion training, and we're going to get into the Dogen fascicle that I'll unveil at the Ango opening ceremony as well. It's going to be a great Ango. So please come and participate. Let the registrars know what you're going to do if you can. The teachings retreat, all this stuff. Let's plug in. Okay, Sangha? Happy Ango. Let's get it together. And above all, folks, trust yourself and practice.